Inside a mansion, a man demands to know the results of his son's skill assessment. His son, Noah Aldaheim, is just 5 years old. A girl nervously replies that Noah's only skill is translation. The Aldaheim family has built a reputation over generations as a powerful magic bloodline. So naturally, everyone expected the eldest son, Noah, to awaken a powerful magic ability. But when Hilgant, the current head of the family, hears about Noah's skill, he's stunned. Confused, he demands to know where Noah's offensive and elemental magic is. Noah, unaware of what's wrong, innocently asks his father, but Hilgant just mutters his name and suddenly slaps him across the face. Noah crashes on the floor and gets injured. Hilgant calls him a disgrace and accuses him of tarnishing the family's name. Noah pleads, but Hilgant cuts him off, declaring that Noah is no longer his son. He storms out, ignoring the woman who tries to stop him. Noah is left crying and apologizing, not understanding what he did wrong. After that day, everything changes. Even the servants start avoiding him. Following a maid through the mansion, Noah watches her flinch and asks to be excused. He's sure his father told everyone to ignore him. Still, he keeps trying to be the best son he can, hoping for approval, but no one responds. Eventually, he turns to the archives, losing himself in books. Reading becomes his escape. One day, he wonders if his translation skill is what allows him to understand the books. As he scans the bookshelf, he realizes he's already finished everything in the room. Feeling down, he steps outside and sits alone, until something catches his eye. He finds what looks like a stone slab. Back in his room, he tries to decode it but can't understand the writing. Comparing the symbols to his own notes, he finally deciphers a message: "Look at the back." When he does, he realizes he needs to archive this discovery too. A month later, Noah finally cracks the stones puzzle. He's reorganized all the books just as the instructions said. As soon as he finishes, a strange symbol appears and the bookshelf shifts, revealing a hidden passage. Amazed, Noah steps inside. Lights automatically turn on. He guesses they're powered by magic stones. He spots symbols on a door, recognizes the same language from the stone, and reads the words, "The Hidden Archive." Inside, he finds a vast underground library filled with ancient books. It's brightly lit despite being below ground. Noah, thrilled, realizes he hasn't read any of these old texts yet. One book catches his eye, placed right in the center. It's titled Introduction to Ancient Magic. The contents are dense and hard to follow, but he decides to take his time with it. He has plenty of that. Then he remembers his father's words, being disowned, slapped, and called a disgrace. The memory makes him shrink and cry. His skill, translation, had been tossed aside like garbage. What Noah doesn't know is that translation lets its user read any written language in existence. In modern times, it seems useless. But in truth, it holds the power to reshape the world. Because this world was built on words, but Noah still has no idea. Years pass. On his 15th birthday, Noah prepares to leave. His father had told him long ago to get out of the house at this age, and Noah accepted it. Hilgant tells him again that while Noah is the eldest son, he can't inherit the family name without magic. Noah says he understands. Before leaving, he finishes reading one last book. He walks through the mansion one final time and thanks the maids for taking care of him. As expected, they ignore him, but he's grown used to that. Still, he bows deeply and sincerely thanks them. He reflects on how, as a child, he wished someone, anyone, would talk to him. Their silence made him promise never to treat others that way. He admits he might be saying that just for himself. Outside, someone calls out to him. It's Gren, Noah's younger brother, now 13. Gren smugly says Noah's finally been kicked out. Noah greets him calmly. Gren declares he'll take over the family name, boasting that unlike Noah, he has powerful offensive and flame-based magic. Noah agrees. As Gren struts, Noah silently reflects, in this world, everyone is born with magic, but only those with a skill can use it. Modern magic relies on skill activation. Since Noah has no offensive or elemental magic, he can't do any of that. Still, he he tells Gren that even if their mother denies it, they're brothers, and that means they'll miss each other at least a little. But Gren scoffs. He calls Noah the family's failure and says he won't miss him at all. In fact, he's glad to see him go. Noah remembers his father yelling that he's the disgrace of the Aldaheim family. Instead of being upset, he starts laughing and admits to himself that his father might have been right. Gren doesn't understand why Noah is laughing and quickly grows irritated, accusing him of being arrogant despite not being able to use magic. Trying to prove his superiority, Gren activates his flame magic. A fire ignites on his right hand, forming a basic fireball, standard first stage fire magic. He hurls it straight at Noah. Noah calmly watches and counters the spell using breeze magic. The fireball instantly dissipates. Gren is stunned, unable to understand how his magic was cancelled so easily. Noah explains that over the past 10 years, he has been studying ancient magic by translating the runes found in the hidden archive. The process was grueling. Each rune carried multiple meanings, many tied to powerful spells. His translation skill, thought to be useless, allowed him to decipher and harness this forgotten form of magic. Unlike modern magic, which depends on skill activation, ancient magic is built on deep linguistic structure and raw knowledge. By combining his translation skill with relentless study, Noah has unlocked magic that predates the current system, and it works flawlessly against modern techniques. Gren refuses to accept it. Still overwhelmed, he lashes out, insisting that Noah has no right to be here and should disappear. He storms off in frustration. Noah quietly watches his brother leave. They've never been close, and he's disappointed that their farewell ended this way. Turning away from the mansion, Noah begins his journey. All his life, he's been surrounded by books, but now he wants to experience the world for himself. He knows the first thing he'll need is money. To survive and explore, he'll have to find a way to earn a living. He decides that becoming an adventurer is the most practical first step. Noah launches himself into the air using skywalking magic. Hovering above the mansion, he isn't sure how strong he is compared to others in the world, but for now, his first goal is clear: reach the Adventurers Guild. Suspended in the sky, he looks back at the place he once called home. He quietly gives his thanks and then turns away, flying off toward his new future. Back at the mansion, Gren enters his father's study and reports that Noah has finally left. Hilgund acknowledges it with little reaction. He shifts the conversation quickly, informing Gren that the second prince of the Lastia Empire will be visiting soon. As a representative of the family, Gren needs to be well prepared. No one in the household should appear unkempt or unready. Gren accepts the task and leaves the room. Once alone, Hilgund moves to the window and stares outside. He reflects silently, asking Noah not to hate him. In his mind, a child without magic is a failure by Aldaheim standards, and while it pained him, he's relieved Noah is gone. Meanwhile, Noah, now traveling on his own, stops mid-flight. He looks below and identifies the bustling business center of the Aldaheim territory. Deciding to visit, he lands and starts walking through the crowded streets. He quietly takes in the diverse people and lively atmosphere. The last time he was here, he had attended a party with his father. Since then, he's never left the mansion grounds. As Noah walks through the market district, a cheerful vendor calls out to him, offering what he claims are the best sandwiches in the area. Curious, Noah approaches and asks for just one. When the vendor tells him the price is a silver coin, Noah hesitates and apologizes. He only has a single gold coin. Surprised, the shopkeeper wonders if Noah is from a wealthy household. But Noah explains it's the only coin he has. The vendor, still a bit taken aback, accepts the gold and returns 99 silver coins as change, handing over the sandwich. Noah thanks him, noting how the vendor mistook him for a child of the noble Aldaheim family. With that in mind, he decides it's best to avoid staying in the territory for too long. Soon after, Noah sees a carriage rolling by and stops it. The driver says it's heading to Lubloop. Knowing that the head of the Wajist family resides there, and that the town lies to the east, Noah decides to go. He pays the fare and climbs aboard. It's his first time riding a carriage, and he enjoys the experience. The other passengers eye him with curiosity. Noah introduces himself and says he'll be joining them on the journey. As the carriage moves on, one of the passengers asks about his destination. Noah answers that he's heading to Lubloop to register at the Adventurers Guild, aiming to earn money. The passenger agrees it's a wise choice, mentioning that the town's economy is booming. Noah, expressionless at first, soon lights up and shares what he knows. Lubloop's growth began after they found a way to cultivate previously barren land. His knowledge surprises the man, who remarks that not many people know such details. Noah simply explains that he read it in a book. The man introduces himself as Edgar, and explains that he and his two companions are merchants. One of them asks if Noah is interested in hearing stories. Noah agrees, and the merchant begins to share what he knows. As he listens, Noah realizes that hearing stories directly from people feels very different from reading them in books. There's something more vivid, more real, in the way they're told. For the first time, he feels like he's seeing the world properly, through people, places, and experiences. He's glad he chose to ride this carriage. But the peaceful ride doesn't last. The driver suddenly spots something up ahead. The horses grow nervous and start to panic. Edgar immediately asks what's going on. They all spot an empty carriage on the road ahead, and then, from that direction, comes a monstrous roar. Edgar fears the worst and assumes a monster attack. An older passenger identifies the creature as a wind tiger, a high-ranking beast. But according to recent reports, only monsters of D to E rank had been spotted in this area. Something is clearly off. Noah takes in the situation, assessing the threat. It's not what anyone expected. Edgar spots a group of knights already engaging the wind tiger. He tells the others they should use the chaos as a chance to escape. Tension builds inside the carriage as the passengers argue, unsure whether to flee or stay. Edgar, aware of the risk, urges them to leave, explaining that staying will only add to the number of casualties. He looks to Noah and hopes he understands. But Noah doesn't plan on running. He tells them he's going to help. All three passengers are stunned. The old man demands to know why he would throw his life away for strangers. But Noah simply thanks him for his concern. He can't watch people die, especially when he knows what it's like to be alone and helpless. Noah leaps from the carriage. As he lands, he thanks them for the journey and urges them to escape safely. The carriage speeds off, leaving him behind. Up ahead, the wind tiger clashes with the knights. Its roars generate powerful gusts, making it difficult to even stand. Noah recalls from his studies that wind tigers use wind for both mobility and defense. As the beast charges, Noah activates his breeze spell, intercepting the attack before it can reach the knight. The knight, confused, looks around, unaware of Noah's help. Meanwhile, Noah starts provoking the monster, drawing its attention away from the others. The wind tiger locks onto him and lunges. Noah knows the moment it chased him, those people were safe. He narrowly dodges the attack, thinking to himself that while he has no real combat experience with ancient magic, this is the moment to put everything he's learned into action. Just then, the knight hurls his sword at the monster. It lands a direct hit, disrupting the wind tiger's focus. Seizing the opportunity, Noah unleashes an ancient spell, All-Out Blaze. Purple flames engulf the creature, burning through its defenses. With a final roar, the wind tiger is consumed and vanishes. A girl nearby watches in awe at the sight of Noah's purple fire. As Noah lands, he expresses quiet relief at his victory. The girl approaches, thanking him for saving them during such a critical moment. Noah apologizes if he overstepped by interfering. He turns to leave. But the girl calls out, asking him to wait. She wants to properly thank him for saving her life. She explains they are heading to Aldaheim, and asks if he'd like to join them. When he hears the destination, Noah hesitates. He declines, saying he's just glad everyone is safe. As he walks away, the girl asks for his name. He tells her. She softly repeats it to herself, and the knight steps in to let her know their horse is ready. She nods and replies that they can leave whenever. After saying his goodbyes, Noah places his hands together and activates a spell. A magical aura surrounds him, and in an instant, he vanishes using spatial transportation. The girl, confused, calls out to him, but he's already gone. Realizing what happened, she notes that Noah must be a high-class magician. She's left with a strange feeling, thinking she's seen his face somewhere before. Meanwhile, Noah lands safely in a barren landscape. The teleportation takes a heavy toll on his magic reserves, and he acknowledges how demanding the spell truly is. Still, despite the strain, he feels fulfilled. It was the first time someone thanked him. And knowing that his translation skill helped people, even indirectly, fills him with pride. With renewed purpose, he decides to continue his journey to Lubloop. Back at the Aldheim estate, Hilgen hosts a group of important guests. He respectfully bows and thanks them for coming, addressing Claudia with the proper title of Highness. Claudia, the second princess of the Lastia kingdom, responds graciously, expressing her appreciation for the warm welcome. Gren, watching from the side, is visibly excited. Claudia is exactly his type, and he sees her presence as a perfect opportunity. Hilgent, observing his son, shares the sentiment: if Gren were to get engaged to the princess, it would elevate the family's standing considerably. He silently urges Gren not to mess things up. Hilgent then comments on Claudia's safe arrival, expressing relief. But Claudia mentions an incident on the way. Their group encountered a wind tiger. Alarmed, Hilgent notes that it's a high-ranking monster and is surprised she made it out unscathed. One of the knights, still frustrated, remarks that the attack wouldn't have happened if the princess hadn't insisted on leaving the castle. Claudia quickly defends herself, explaining that she's constantly confined and simply wanted to experience the outside world. Claudia apologizes for the trouble her actions caused and shares how their group was saved. A magician appeared out of nowhere, wielding purple flames and defeating the wind tiger in a single strike. Hilgent is stunned. Purple flames aren't part of any known magical discipline. He's never encountered such a technique, and given how well-versed he is in identifying high-class magicians, this one seems entirely unfamiliar. Claudia describes the man further. He carried himself with composure and had jet-black hair. She remembers his name, Noah. The name rattles Hilgent. He momentarily wonders if it could be son, but dismisses the idea. As far as he knows, that child was incapable of using any magic at all. He denies recognizing the name. Suspicious, Claudia presses further, asking where the eldest son of the Aldheim family is. Hilgent says nothing. But Claudia recalls seeing Noah at a party hosted by the Aldheim family years ago. Hilgent quickly shuts it down, claiming they have no child named Noah. He insists their eldest son is Gren. Gren steps forward and displays his fire magic to support the claim. Claudia, sensing the tension, accepts it with a heavy expression, though she doesn't seem convinced. She announces that upon returning to the palace, she plans to conduct further research on the Aldheim family. Hilgent, masking his discomfort, agrees to notify her if anything comes up. Claudia bids them farewell and turns to leave, maintaining her royal composure. But Hilgent is left fuming. He knows that if word gets out that he banished a magically gifted son from the family, his reputation could collapse. After Claudia leaves, the knight apologizes on her behalf, but Hilgent brushes it off. He's already made a decision. Noah must be found and brought back before Claudia uncovers the truth. He orders Gren to look after the estate while he's gone. Gren reacts in shock and protests, worried about losing his chance with Claudia. But Hilgent doesn't care, he's already out the door. Meanwhile, Noah finally arrives at Lubloop in the Wajesti territory. He's awestruck by the grandeur of the Adventurers Guild building. Standing in front of its towering structure, he takes a moment to appreciate the architectural beauty. Then, ready to begin his new life, he steps forward and pushes open the doors, intending to register. But just as he enters, urgency erupts inside the guild. A girl shouts about a crisis at Lubloop volcano. An S-rank monster has been spotted there. Even worse, someone named Serena is already on the volcano, engaging the monster alone. Inside the guild, a wave of panic spreads. A male adventurer nervously asks if the monster on the volcano is Fafnir, an S-rank beast infamous for nearly pushing the Lastia kingdom to the brink of collapse. A female adventurer confirms it, and urgency fills the room. She insists they have to save Serena immediately. but the male adventurer tells everyone to calm down. He questions how they're supposed to help in this kind of situation, reminding them that Serena is the strongest member of their guild. Still, the female adventurer refuses to accept that. She says they can't let Serena die, not like this. Then, guilt spills out. The girl who originally shouted the warning admits it was her fault. She had told Serena about the monster on the volcano. Everyone falls silent. Noah, listening quietly, pieces things together. Serena must be fighting the S-rank monster alone. He wonders if what they really need is someone to go up there and bring her back safely. So he speaks up, he'll go. The room falls completely silent. Then someone asks for his adventurer rank. Noah answers honestly, he hasn't even registered yet. What follows is immediate dismissal. The adventurers shout over one another, insisting they'll handle it instead. Some say they'll call for the kingdom's strongest mages. Others resign themselves to praying for Serena's survival. Noah says nothing. He understands, they don't trust someone who hasn't even joined the guild. Without a rank, there's no reason for anyone to believe in him. As the arguing continues, Noah turns away. Watching them, he notes how worried they all are. It's clear Serena means a lot to them. If something happens to her, many people here will grieve. He reflects on how Serena is likely battling Fafnir all by herself. He knows his ancient magic worked against the Wind Tiger, and he's confident it can work against this monster too. His mind made up, Noah activates his teleportation magic and vanishes. At the Lubloop volcano, lava spews from its crater. The air is thick with heat and ash. On a narrow ledge, Serena stands alone, drenched in sweat, locked in a battle against the towering S-rank monster. On the edge of the volcano, Serena struggles to hold her ground. She can't believe how powerful the monster is. Towering above her, the S-rank beast Fafnir unleashes a roar that shakes the cliffs and sends a wave of intimidation through her. Suddenly, it opens its mouth and fires a massive energy attack directly at her. Overwhelmed, Serena wonders how she's supposed to defeat something that far outclasses her. But just as the attack is about to land, Noah appears and deflects the blast with a burst of ancient magic. Serena stares at him, speechless. Noah, standing calmly in front of her, asks if she's Serena. Still processing what just happened, she says nothing. But there's no time for introductions. Fafnir charges another attack. A beam erupts from its mouth. Noah raises a magical barrier just in time. The beam slams into it, nearly breaking through. Flames erupt around them as the ground trembles. Noah notes that this level of destruction is exactly what he expected from an S-rank monster. He tells Serena he got there through teleportation and warns her that if the battle drags on, the entire volcano might collapse. Serena, still confused, demands to know what just happened and who this stranger even is. Noah calmly introduces himself and says he's an aspiring adventurer. The word aspiring catches Serena off guard. She questions how someone who hasn't even joined a guild plans to fight a monster like this. But Noah doesn't answer, he just begins preparing another spell. He launches a concentrated beam of magic at Fafnir. It hits, sending the monster flying, but Noah already knows it's not enough. Unlike the Wind Tiger, this beast won't go down easily. From behind, a voice calls him insane. Noah assumes it's Serena and replies playfully, saying it's rude to say that. But Serena denies speaking. That's when Noah hears the voice again, one that isn't hers. It's curious about the strange magic he's using. Noah turns to Fafnir, now standing upright, and realizes the monster is speaking telepathically. Fafnir laughs and finds the situation amusing. Since the moment he awakened and broke his seal, he's been attacked non-stop. Now, he wants to know if this human is communicating with him through the mind. Noah, stunned, confirms that he hears the voice in his head too. He apologizes for attacking without warning and insists he has nothing against Fafnir personally. Fafnir, clearly amused, asks why Noah is saying that now. Fafnir repeats that he will never trust a human, blaming them for sealing him away. But Noah insists he's wrong. The girl Fafnir attacked wasn't a threat, she was just there, doing nothing harmful. Noah only arrived to help, and he promises he has no intention of hurting Fafnir any further. Fafner pauses and asks if Noah really means that. Before anything else can happen, Serena yells out. She demands to know if Noah was just talking with the monster. She admits she couldn't understand a word and asks if Noah was speaking some kind of monster language. Noah suddenly realizes he had been using the ancient language he learned as a child without noticing. He recalls reading that many monsters communicate through it. Fafner hears this and agrees. He's been sealed away for so long that it makes sense the language has changed. Noah is relieved to see Fafner so reasonable, and says he's glad the dragon is understanding. Fafner casually adds that, despite appearances, he's actually a herbivore. To show trust, Noah gently holds Fafner's mouth shut and tells Serena there's no danger. Fafner is calm and non-aggressive. Fafner leans toward Serena, but she hesitates. Even if he means no harm, she says the Lost Air Kingdom won't let a monster like him roam free. Noah agrees and warns Fafner that if he's discovered, people will come for him. So he suggests traveling together as companions. Fafner considers it. He asks if Noah means as a familiar or a traveling partner. Then he happily agrees, saying that would actually help him a lot. He suggests forming a companion contract. But to do that, Noah will need to perform high-level rune magic. Fafner asks if he's capable. Noah simply agrees. A massive rune circle appears beneath Fafner. The energy is immense, shaking the volcano's ground. Fafner struggles under the pressure, while Serena watches in awe. A thick cloud of dust rises, making it hard to see. Serena asks what just happened. Noah explains that the contract is complete. He and Fafner are now officially bonded. Thanks to the link, Serena will now be able to speak with Fafner too. She stares in disbelief. Fafner, once an unstoppable threat, is now overwhelmed but bound, no longer a monster, but a companion. As the dust settles around the crater, Fafner looks at Noah and comments that it's impressive someone like him managed to form a contract so easily. Amused, he calls Noah the real monster. Serena, still stunned, processes what she's hearing. She finally realizes the creature in front of her is Fafner, the S-rank monster. But something's changed. Noah explains that Fafner must have shrunk as a result of the contract. Noah then properly introduces himself to Fafner, and says he's looking forward to working together. Fafner responds that he feels the same. Serena joins in, introducing herself as well. Noah adds that in this smaller form, no one will recognize Fafner, which might keep them out of trouble. Fafner agrees, saying that now he won't be sealed by humans ever again. Serena is amazed. She can't believe the monster is actually talking. Noah smiles, happy to have made some friends. But Fafner dryly remarks that if Noah considers a magical contract as friendship, he's definitely a strange one. Serena, still processing everything, says that at least the crisis has been resolved. Back at the Adventurers Guild, the girl who had first raised the alarm breaks down in tears when she sees Serena safe. She blames herself for what happened. But Serena reassures her that it's all fine now. From a distance, Noah quietly watches the reunion. He feels content knowing everything turned out well. Later, outside the guild, Serena tells Noah she reported to the guild that she never saw Fafner, keeping his identity secret. Noah thanks her, calling her a lifesaver. Fafner also expresses his gratitude. Serena then asks where they plan to stay that night. Noah admits he doesn't have much money and suggests camping outdoors. Fafner casually says he doesn't mind. Hearing that, Serena offers them a place at her home. Noah reacts awkwardly at first, but Serena quickly clarifies that it's not meant in a strange way. She's just genuinely thankful he saved her life. Noah asks if she's sure. Serena assures him it's no problem and even promises to cook dinner, mentioning she's actually pretty good at it. Later that evening, the three of them sit down for dinner at Serena's house, an unlikely group brought together by crisis, now sharing a meal like old friends. Noah finds the food delicious, and even Fafner eats heartily. Serena smiles, happy that they're enjoying the meal, and urges them to eat more, there's plenty. Noah thanks her politely. Serena comments on how surprised she was when Noah suddenly appeared at the volcano and launched Fafner into the air. Noah explains that he used ancient magic. But Serena admits she's never been particularly interested in magic. Shifting the topic, she asks if Noah still plans to become an adventurer. When he says yes, she offers to take him to the guild first thing in the morning. Since she's his senior, she promises to guide him through the process. Noah thanks her again, but she tells him to relax and speak casually, like he would with a friend. Noah tenses up at the idea but humbly agrees. Serena says that's better. The next morning, at the Adventurers Guild, the receptionist gives Noah a form and asks him to fill in his information. He returns it shortly after. She then notices the small creature on his back and asks if it's his companion. Fafnir stares at her silently, and Noah quickly hands him a collar belt, asking him to wear it. Fafnir questions what it is, and Noah explains that it's an identification item. Once he wears it, the town will officially recognize him as a companion, allowing him to move around freely. Fafnir puts it on and says it fits perfectly. The receptionist compliments the look. Noah then whispers to Fafnir that he's embedded rune magic into the collar. It will automatically expand if Fafnir ever returns to his true form. The receptionist thanks Noah for waiting and asks him to head into a separate room, where his abilities will be assessed. Hearing this, Noah stiffens up. Fafnir notices the change in his energy and asks what's wrong. Noah replies that he just doesn't have many good memories when it comes to ability tests. With quiet resolve, Noah steps into the evaluation room. Inside, a man greets him warmly. He introduces himself as Carl, the guild's ability assessment supervisor. Noah introduces himself in return. Carl activates a spell that lights up a crystal ball placed in front of them. As the magic flows, the ball glows brightly. Carl examines it and immediately identifies Noah's skill, translation. Noah braces himself, worried how this will be received. But to his surprise, Carl reacts positively. He says it's an extremely rare talent. Both Noah and Fafnir are confused by Carl's reaction. Carl admits that in his 10 years of working at the guild, he's never once encountered someone with the translation skill. While it's certainly rare, he explains, it doesn't align well with typical adventuring work. Carl kindly offers to help Noah find alternative jobs if he prefers something safer. But Noah says it's fine, he'll continue on the adventurer path. Carl warns him again that being an adventurer is dangerous and urges him to stay cautious. Still, he finishes on a cheerful note, telling Noah he's looking forward to seeing what he can do. With that, the session ends. Outside the testing room, Noah shares the news with Serena, telling her that Carl confirmed his skill is rare. Fafnir agrees and adds that Carl seemed like a good person, and of course Noah's skill is rare. Serena, now more focused, says the next step is getting Noah his first quest.
As the story goes forward, we see after Noah ends his conversation with Carl. Noah was standing outside and was talking with Serena. There he was telling her that he is quite relieved that Carl didn't call his talent dumb. He then further goes on to add that Carl seemed pretty cool to him. Followed by that, Serena responded to Noah by saying that his talent was not dumb at all, and now they will just have to find Noah's first quest. Then she says since Noah is only F-ranked, in that case it would be better if he starts out with a harvesting quest in the area. Moments later, Serena hands him a piece of paper, and it has all the details that he needs to know about his first quest. And it also says that if he successfully completes the quest, then he will be rewarded with 4 silver coins. After hearing about the prize money, Noah's dragon asked him what they would be able to eat with this money. To which Noah responded by saying that this much money is good enough to buy 4 sandwiches. Serena then went on to explain that starter quests always pay around this much money only. Hearing that, Noah says to Dragon and Serena that they should hurry to the eastern forest. Hearing which, Serena wishes Noah and his dragon good luck. In the next scene we can see that Noah and his dragon have just arrived at the Rubrup's eastern forest. As they arrive there, Noah's dragon said that it is going to be a real pain to find a specific plant in the middle of a huge forest like this. Noah disagrees with his dragon and tells him that it's not necessary to be that way. Followed by that, Noah unleashed his powerful magic spell, which will help him search the resources instantly. To which, his dragon said he is again doing another extraordinary thing. Noah responds to that by saying that the extraordinary ones are the people who created this magic spell, and that he can't take the credit. The dragon then replied that he shouldn't be taking himself lightly, because he mastered the magic. That means he also qualifies as extraordinary too. As he was saying all this, Noah found the plant that he was searching for. Following that, he went back with the plant to Carl. Back there, as everyone saw the plant, they were utterly gobsmacked. Noah then told him that there were a bunch of things that looked useful to him, so therefore, he decided to harvest a variety of things as well. Seeing this, Serena thought that by this point she should be surprised. On the other hand, Carl was astonished that Noah has collected so much in such a short amount of time. Following this, Carl went on to say that there are some rare panacea and magical herbs present at his collections, and on top of that all were in good condition. Carl then went on to say that Noah did a great job on his first quest. To which we see a happy Noah who thanks Carl. Carl then further goes on to tell Noah that he is actually very impressed by what Noah has accomplished in his first quest in such a short time with his translation talent. Carl then also said, even with his appraiser's eyes, he couldn't foresee that. Hearing what Noah said, he still has a long way to go. To which Carl told him, usually it takes a rookie adventurer half a day to collect only one medicine herb, but he did it effortlessly. Followed by that, Carl asks Noah if he has decided about his next quest. In response, Noah said not yet. Carl then told Noah, there is actually a quest that he was hoping that Noah should take. Hearing that, Noah said if Carl thinks that he is the right person for the job, then he will be glad to do that. Carl then said, since he said he is ready, then here is the quest. Carl then hands Noah a piece of paper that has all the information that he needs to know about the quest. On top of that, there is also written that if he is able to successfully complete the quest, then he will be rewarded with 5 platinum coins. Following that, Carl told Noah that, for this quest he will have to find a flower named Fairy Flower from the Rubrup Eastern Forest. He then further told Noah, fairy flowers are one of the ingredients that is used to make wonder elixirs, the one which can cure most illnesses. But Noah was a bit taken aback by the fact that the quest demands an adventurer who is ranked B. According to him, he can only take quests which are 1 ranked above his. To which Carl said that the guild won't mind if he refers to Noah for the quest. Besides, Carl further told Noah, if he fails then he will pay the penalty fee, so he shouldn't worry about that. Then Noah asked Carl why he would go that far. In response to that, Carl told him, his daughter is suffering from an unknown illness, and that he had gone to every doctor in the city, but none of them knew what to do. So all he can do now is hope the wonder elixirs can cure his daughter. Furthermore, he told Noah, he has got all the other ingredients that were required, but he just can't get his hands on a fairy flower, no matter how much he tried. There we get to learn that these flowers are so rare that one can only find a few in any given year. But, according to him, he is not fortunate enough to find one as of now. However, after seeing Noah's accomplishments, Carl thinks that he might be able to find one. Following that, he says, as he can see, that he is the Clint for this quest, so he asked Noah to help him. Noah then agreed to take the quest, and Carl thanked him. Noah's dragon, on the other hand, asked him that can't he just heal her with his archaic magic. To which Noah told his dragon that illnesses are more in the realm of medicine, not magic. But then again he said that it doesn't mean that illnesses can't be cured by archaic magic. Noah then turns around and asks Carl if it will be possible to meet Carl's daughter for him. In response to that, Carl says sure. Following that, Carl told him that after he is done with today's work, he will take Noah to his home today. Then all of a sudden, a guy came in the room slamming the door and told Carl that his daughter is in bad condition. By hearing that from the guy, Noah, his dragon alongside Carl, was absolutely stunned to say the least, and they do know what to do or say at that point of time. Therefore, all of them rush towards Carl's house to see his daughter as quickly as possible. Following that, we see Carl slam the door and go into his house. Then, he quickly asks his wife what happened to his daughter Carla. To which, his wife told him that she suddenly collapsed and won't wake up. Then, the doctor told him that he still couldn't figure out what had happened to her, because her body seems absolutely normal. Noah then looked at Carl's daughter and asked the doctor if he could take a look at her. Hearing that, the doctor asked him what he was trying to do, and that can't he see that this was an emergency. Therefore, he asked him to stay out of this matter. But Noah, on the other hand, told him that this girl was suffering from mana meridian sclerosis. He then further goes on to explain that this is a disease that causes abnormality in the meridians through which mana possess, preventing it from getting normal. Following that, Noah further goes on to say mana consistently follows through all living beings, whether or not they are capable of using magic. Noah then again says this girl currently has only a negligible amount of mana following through her body. So, according to him, this disease is more in the field of magic than medicine. Therefore, no wonder none of the doctors caring for her could figure it out. After that, Noah says at this point he is using his mana to temporarily suppress her symptoms. But in order to cure her, they'll have to use an elixir after all. Following that, Noah says he will now have to hurry and find the fairy flower. Hearing that, Serena says it's already getting late, so it could be dangerous. So she decided to go with Noah too. Carl, on the other hand, says Noah doesn't have any magical tools required for this expedition. Noah then told Carl that it will take a while for them to manage any at this point of time. And right now it's a race against time, so he assumes that he will be just fine without the tools, and that he will find a fairy flower no matter what happens. Hearing that, Carl says thank you to Noah and Serena, and his wife asks them to take care of themselves. As they get out of the place, Noah told Serena that he will use teleportation power to go to the forest, so she will have to hold tight, and Serena says yes to that. As they reach the forest, Noah says he will be continuously searching for resources as they run through the forest, and that she won't mind if they pick up the pace. To which she says not at all. Momentarily, we get to know that fairy flowers, as the name implies, bloom in the places that fairies inhabit. Several hundred years ago, fairies used to dwell in this area. The dragon then says oddly enough, not a single one is around here anymore, and that maybe all of them moved to a new place. Noah then said that fairies tend to be pretty reclusive, so he can't imagine that they'd willingly leave a place like this forest. Dragon then said, considering that fact, fairy flowers had been found in this place before, he'd say that the fairies only disappeared recently. Perhaps someone took them away. All of a sudden, Serena says that maybe someone is there. Hearing that, a very charged up dragon said, yeah, that's some audacity. Suddenly, a monster appeared there, and our experienced adventurer Serena got rid of it pretty easily. Noah then praises her for the way she took care of the monster, and further adds that he didn't think that a monster would appear there like this. Hearing that, Serena says that he really is a rookie adventurer, and that there is a world of difference between his abilities and his experience in real combat. Then all of a sudden, Noah was getting a faint response from the fairy flowers. After a while, Noah pointed to a lake and said, here it is. Following that, he further elaborates that there is a fairy flower at the bottom of this lake. Hearing that, Serena was absolutely astonished. Then she asked how it got there. In response to that, by saying as far as he knows fairy flowers aren't aquatic plants, and he further says he also can sense a strong mana could be there. Therefore, he will have to get in to understand that. But Serena, on the other hand, said that she is not the best swimmer. Noah then suddenly jumped into the lake with his dragon. Seeing Noah jump into the lake like that, Serena said he can do anything. After getting into the bottom of the lake, Noah says that this is a dimensional tear, which is a teleportation sport. But he was confused about who made it and why. Dragon then said he can sniff the fairy flower's mana. Noah then told the dragon that fairs can't use this kind of magic. So, according to Noah, someone must have taken them here. As he tried to touch it, he realized that it was protected by a barrier. So, the dragon then says that he will try to destroy it. But he failed to do so because he was underwater. NH then said that he will try to dispel it. And he started to do so. The barrier wasn't very well made, therefore Noah easily makes it disappear. The dragon then suddenly said he can sense a monster. Hearing that, Noah asked him if he could tell where it was. To which he told him that it was behind them. And Noah saw that it was a sea serpent. But seeing that, Noah was absolutely shocked, because it was supposed to be in the sea. Then the monster started saying that he was sleeping in peace. Then why is a human there in the middle of the night? Noah, with his translation power, understood what he was saying. The monster again said he will have to deal with him now, otherwise the sprite of darkness will beat him. Hearing that, Noah asked who is the sprite of darkness. To which the monster lets Noah know that he himself doesn't know who he is, and that all he knows is that he is a damn scary guy. One day, he suddenly dragged the monster out of the sea. Noah then smiled and thanked him for giving him all this information. The sea monster was absolutely stunned that a human was speaking to him. Noah then told him that this was all because of his translation power. Noah further goes on to say that he would like to avoid any kind of unnecessary conflicts, and if he could pretend that he hasn't seen them, then it'll be great. In response to that, the monster laughed at him and said that he would rather eat them instead. Hearing that, Fafnir said the monster is even more hot-blooded than he is. Then he started to attack Noah and Fafnir. Realizing that, Fafnir asked Noah to go ahead, and that he will take care of this monster alone. Fafnir then goes on to say that if he wants to save the little girl's life, then he will have to go ahead. Noah then thanked Fafnir and went ahead, in search of the fairy flower. Noah then went into the barrier, and the dragon Fafnir was fighting with the monster. After a while, Noah went into an unknown place, and thought where he was, and he was stunned to see that it was daytime there. Then, he realized that place was made out of magic, so the time difference was irrelevant in the first place. Then Noah saw a girl who was shivering in pain. Noah put his healing spell in her, and she recovered. After that, she thanked Noah. Noah then told him his name and said that he is a rookie adventurer. Moments later, Noah asked the girl if she was a fairy, to which she said she was indeed going, and in return she asked Noah if he was a human or not. Noah then told her that he understood her language because of his translation power. The fairy then told Noah that in the past the fairies used to live in the Ruberup forest. But then one day an evil spirit of darkness came to the forest and captured all of the fairies and locked them up here. So now everyone except her was imprisoned in a big tree. Hearing that, Noah asked her, why did the sprite of darkness capture them? To which she answered that she doesn't know. She then asked Noah why he came to this place. To which Noah replied that he needs a fairy flower in order to heal a girl. Hearing that, the fairy said there should be some fairy flowers growing here. But then Noah saw all the other fairies imprisoned in a cell on top of a gigantic tree. As Noah tries to get a little closer to the captured fairies, the other fairy stops him and tells him that he will be attacked if he went a little closer to them. Then the fairy showed Noah the guardian golem and told him that the sprite of darkness isn't here at this time. So that golem is protecting the area on behalf of him. Noah then said that it seems to him that he will have to defeat this golem first, whether he has to save the fairies or pick the flowers. Noah then looked at the fairy and told her not to worry, and that he will save all of her friends, and then ask her to hide in a safe place for a while. She agreed and asked Noah to be careful. Noah thought the way to defeat this golem is to overwrite the archaic runes engraving into its chest. In order to do that, he is going to have to damage it and prevent it from moving for a short while. As he was thinking all this, the golem saw Noah and was coming to get him, and it was stepping on the fairy flowers. Seeing this, Noah felt really bad for the flowers. As he was thinking that, the golem came and threw Noah miles away. Seeing that, the fairy got really scared, and she started shouting for Noah's well-being. As Noah was falling on the ground, he was thinking that it is a good thing that his robe was protected. But if he takes another fall like this, he will be in trouble. Noah then rushes towards him and thinks he can't let the fairy flowers get crushed in the crossfire like this. So he then uses the ultimate raging blaze. But it doesn't have any effect on the golem. Therefore, in that case, Noah decided to use the mana shockwaves, but this also doesn't make any difference. And now it was the golem's turn to pay him back. As Noah saw it coming, he thought this was going to be bad for him. The golem then struck Noah with a thunderesque blow, and Noah went flying back, and he was hurt badly. Meanwhile, Noah understood that it was made out of mithril, and mithril is that is extremely resistant to magic. Then Noah thought if the archaic spell, which can typically pierce through some defensive spells, is not working. So, that means the golem is made out of mithril of considerably high purity. So, he understands that he can't beat him with such lowly magic. This as a whole was the worst possible matchup for him. Just then, the golem gets ready to move again, and Noah sees it coming. Despite that, the golem was quicker than usual, so Noah had no chance to move away. The punch from the golem landed flush on Noah's midriff, sending him flying back. The fairy gets worried seeing Noah fall down on the ground and get hurt. Noah, hurt, wondered just how he could beat a giant like the golem. He wonders if there's a way for someone like him to erase the ruin on the golem. But he quickly realizes that he can't because the ruin has a barrier blocking it. He realizes that if he doesn't defeat the golem, he won't be able to get out of this place. He wouldn't be able to save the fairies and get the flowers to Carl. Noah thinks about how if he had a better and more combat-suited skill set, he would have stood a great chance against opponents who resisted magic. However, he only has the skill of translation and can use archaic magic. That being said, he knows that there's no way out, so he decides to man up and fight the golem with the archaic magic that he has. He quickly forms a triple circle and uses a blazing fire move to attack the golem. He mixes up the setting of the circles to catch the golem off guard. He wants to breach through it no matter what. Noah knows that he needs to understand the ruins better. He needs to make a deep dive into the realm of ruins. A dive deeper than ever. He was hell-bent on getting things done. He wanted to get the flower for Carla, as he didn't want to lose her. However, as he was doing so, little by little, his head started feeling dizzy. This caused Noah to stop his magic spell, as he understood that his body was weakening, and his head was spinning. The golem had suddenly gotten stronger. Its body suddenly cracked up and started resembling that of a strong bodybuilder. This shocked the fairy who was watching, and Noah, who was bleeding from his nose, realized that he was losing consciousness. Suddenly, Noah hears a sound. It was the sound of pages turning. He subsequently sees a large book in front of him. The ruins in the book were extremely complex to read. Noah tries to decipher it and understands that the book had information about the golem, how its body is formed of mithril, and how it uses a dark defensive barrier spell. This confuses Noah, as he doesn't understand why the book had information about the golem. Moreover, the book projected an insane amount of mana. It was as if the book itself was a paragon of archaic magic. This made Noah realize that if it is an archaic magic product, he could possibly use his skills to alter the effect of mithril. So, he uses his skills to make it so that mithril is no longer resistant to magic. After he is done rewriting the spell with his magic, the book closes and Noah gets to know that the book is called the Book of the World. Suddenly, Noah comes back to consciousness from the fairy's pestering. The fairy, beat up, says that it can no longer hold on. Noah realizes that the fairy had been protecting him while he was unconscious and thanks it for the help. The fairy says that is not an issue. The bigger problem is that the golem is still after them. Noah understands the situation he is in and decides to do something about it. However, he doesn't have a lot of magic left in him, and his best shot didn't even leave a scratch on the golem's body. This is when he is reminded of the book he saw. He wonders if the book he saw back then was a mere dream. He uses telepathy to tell the fairy all about his experience with the Book of the World. The fairy isn't so sure about something like that existing. Noah ponders if such a book could actually work its magic. However, he quickly brushes that sentiment off, as such a thing is too ridiculous to exist. The laws of the nature isn't something that can be changed so easily. That being said, Noah has no other chance but to back himself. He has to trust the Book of the World. So, Noah decides to use his magic to make another ultimate fire blaze attack. This time, he hopes that the attack at least manages to break through the defensive barrier. He hits the chest of the golem where the chest ruins were placed. Noah hoped wholeheartedly for the attack to leave some damage. And his prayers come into fruition almost immediately. The attack not only damages the golem, but destroyed its chest open. Soon after, the entire golem started dissolving into thousands of pieces. Noah stood there as the victor, while the fairy cheered him on for his unwavering braveness. That being said, Noah was more concerned about what the Book of the World stands for. Continuing on, Noah sees that the golem guardian had disintegrated into many parts after what happened. Thanks to that, the place was filled with mithril rocks everywhere. This made him wonder just why did the Book of the World allow him to use such powers, but he decides not to dwell on it for too long, as he does have other things to do as well. He decides to store all the valuable mithril rocks in his inventory bag, and following that, He moves onto the caged fairies and frees them from the cage. The fairies couldn't be more happier thanks to this, and they were thanking Noah for the help. One of the fairies showed some hesitance as Noah is a human being, and she doesn't like humans, but her partners tell her that Noah is in fact a really nice person. With the base work done, Noah notices that a new portal has opened up around the tree, and guesses that this might be the portal that would allow them to go back to their dimension. Before doing that though, Noah needs to complete the mission to find fairy flowers, which would help heal Carla. He goes to work, but unfortunately the flower he finds ends up being broken. Noah realizes that the sheer magnitude of his fight with the Golem Guardian had caused a big scene and damaged a lot of things. He keeps looking for the flowers, but no matter which one he finds, they end up being broken or damaged beyond use. Eventually, Noah loses hope, as no working flower remained there. This frustrates him, as he wonders just what was his reason for coming here anyway if he now has to go back and not be able to save Carla. The fairies feel for Noah and his frustration. Meanwhile, the scene changes to where Serena is located. There, she had already taken out a dangerous monster with the help of Fafnir, Noah's dragon. Fafnir mentions how that monster was a sea serpent. Serena adds that it was an extremely tough opponent. Fafnir says that the sea serpent probably got a boost from the dark spirits that are around the area. This made Serena worry, as she says that she hopes Noah is fine. Fafnir mentions how the portal has closed after Noah entered, so they cannot really go inside to help him in case he needed it. Just then, Noah appears behind them and surprises them. Serena is glad to see Noah is safe. Noah says that he had a tough time inside, but Fafnir and Serena say that they already knew that Noah would make it back. Noah says he had gotten back from the portal that had formed recently, and Serena asks Noah if he had managed to get back the flower they were looking for. Upset, Noah reveals that he didn't find one, making Serena worry. However, Noah tells her not to, as he has a different plan in mind. He asks Fafnir, the dragon, for a little bit of help. He asks the dragon to carry him and Serena on its back to the Ruber Roop. Fafnir agrees and takes them on. Noah apologizes for making it work, as he mentions how he is too tired to use mana to make a teleportation now. Following this, Serena and Noah ride atop of Fafnir's back in the air. Serena can't help but feel a bit afraid while they are up there. Fafnir asks Noah if it is fine for them to go back without the fairy flowers. Noah, quite confident now, says that it is indeed fine, and that he has an alternative. Following this, Noah speaks a foreign language, telling someone to come out now, as he assures them that Fafnir is a good dragon. He also asks the person for a favor. Fafnir is confused by this, as he didn't know who Noah was talking to, and what peculiar language he was even using. The scene changes to Carl's household, where Carla was on a bed, flanked by her parents. It looked like Carla was in a terrible condition, as her parents look more and more worried. They tell Carla to hold on just for a little while longer, as Carl tells her that Noah will surely bring back the fairy flowers and save her from this miserable disease. Carla, with a soft smile, tells her father if he cannot see the fairies around them. Carl is left confused by this, but we soon see a fairy arrive and land on Carla's chest. The fairy asks her if she is Carla, before telling her it is fine, and that today was going to be a very special occasion. The fairy also tells Carla to thank Noah for this later. The fairy also makes sure to tell Carla's parents to calm down as everything will get fixed soon. Carl couldn't believe his eyes, as he saw actual fairies surrounding them from all sides. He also looks outside the window to see fairies flying everywhere. Turns out this was the doing of Noah, who had brought along all those fairies with him. Fafnir mentions that he knows that wherever fairies live, fairy flowers will start growing automatically. Despite that, he still feels overwhelmed by the fact that so many fairies had decided to show up at a human-inhabited city. Noah states that he had helped the fairies from the captivity in the other dimension. In return, the fairies listened to his problems and decided to help them. Fafnir could not be more impressed by Noah's achievement. He wonders if this is the real power of the translation skill. No matter the species, be that monster, fairies, or something else altogether, barriers seem to not exist to Noah's abilities. He feels proud, as he mentions that he expects nothing less from the human he has made a pact with. Noah hears what he said, but quickly moves on to making the actual elixir to heal Carla. They managed to make elixirs from the newly blooming flowers, and using that Carla was finally healed. She no longer had mana meridian sclerosis. This was an emotional moment for both Carla and her parents. Even Serena was overtaken by emotions seeing the moment. Carl walks up to Noah and tells him that he cannot thank him enough for what he has done for his daughter. Noah says there is no need to be so grateful and that he is just glad that Carla is all healed up now. Carla then asks Carla to come forward. Carla's mother tells Carla about how Noah is the one who has saved her life. Hearing this, Carla thanks Noah, to which Noah responds with a sweet smile. As the family enjoyed a lot of quality time together, Noah felt a bit jealous. As someone whose mother passed away when he was very young, and as someone whose father never loved him, he barely ever felt what it meant to be family. So, he decides to leave the scene, not wanting to interrupt someone else's family time. As he asks for his leave and starts walking away, Carl tells Noah to stop. As a show of gratitude, Carl invites Noah to have dinner with them tonight. Noah asks if that is okay, considering Carla had only just recovered from such a serious disease. Carl assured him that it is fine, as Carla is already back up to the health that she had when she was not diagnosed with the disease. Carla also makes sure to invite Serena and Fafnir along with Noah for the dinner party they were hosting. Serena agrees to join them for it, but Fafnir informs them that despite his appearance, he is actually a herbivore. Carl offers him to have white apples then, and Fafnir agrees right away as it is his favorite. The fairy also says that she always wanted to try human food for once, shocking Noah, as he thought the fairy had long left. So, they started working together to put together a great dinner party. As Serena and the fairy helped Carla and her mother to help cook the dinner, Noah watched and felt overwhelmed. He felt a sense of homeliness, which makes him tear up as he wondered if this is what it means to be family. Following this, Noah and everyone else at Carl's household go on to enjoy the dinner together. And thus, the B rank mission of collection fairy flowers was completed by Noah. After that, Noah goes to the village of the fairies to set up a proper barrier there to make sure that no dark spirits are able to enter their forest. His act of kindness meant a lot to the fairies, who expressed their gratitude towards Noah by basically giving him god status among them. After helping out the fairies, Noah made his way back to Carl's house, where Carl greeted him. Carl once again told Noah just how grateful he is towards Noah for what he has done for him and his family. As a result of carrying out the B rank mission, Noah's own personal adventurer rank increased to E rank. Carl also handed Noah 5 platinum coins for successfully fulfilling his demand, but Noah says that he can't accept that reward. He instead suggests that Carl uses those platinum coins to invest for Carla's future. Carl assures him that he has already done so, and that these coins are his for the taking. Eventually, Noah decides to take those 5 platinum coins as a reward for his mission and leaves the place not long after. Following this, he goes to the Adventurers Guild, where he meets up with Serena. The place was more congested than usual, and Noah pointed this out to Serena, saying how there were so many people there today. Serena said this was because a famous adventurer from the capital Rydolf had arrived there. The person was looking for someone to accompany her to her new mission, where she will be investigating the ancient ruins of the east of Rydolf. The ancient ruins part hits Noah hard, and Serena understood that he was curious about the thing, as he himself is a user of archaic magic. Just then, the famous adventurer, who is a girl of small stature, yells out. She berates all the adventurers who came to join her team, saying they are not worthy of being on her side. They were very basic adventurers, but she was looking for someone with something different and unorthodox in their skill set. She didn't just come here from the capital to see mediocrity. Carl was present there, so he decides to recommend Noah to the famous adventurer. He told her how Noah is a new adventurer, who is still green but possesses the unorthodox ability of translating. The famous adventurer finds this quite interesting, and she asks Noah about his current rank. Noah tells her that he is an E-rank adventurer. Hearing this, the famous adventurer immediately rejects him and moves on. Carl tries to make a case for Noah, but the famous adventurer states that to be on her team, one needs to be at least C or B ranked. Carl informs her about how Noah had recently completed a B rank mission, but the famous adventurer just brushes it off as a fluke. Noah tells Carl that it is okay, and that there is no need for him to try and convince her. Serena also speaks up and asks if there is any way for Noah to prove his skills right then and there. She mentions how Noah had only recently become an adventurer, and that is the reason why he has a low rank. Noah is touched by her efforts. Meanwhile, the famous adventurer quickly recognizes Serena. She asks Serena if she is the popular A-rank swordsman Serena. Taken aback, Serena asks the famous adventurer how she knows her. She says that Serena is very popular as she is the most promising talent out there, and is the youngest ever to reach a rank. Not only that, Serena also has a dedicated fan club in the capital city of Rydolf. Noah is impressed by Serena's popularity, but Serena just brushes it off as nothing. The famous adventurer asks Serena to join her team instead, saying that she is a perfect fit for her team, and that she would accept someone like Serena without a second thought. However, Serena says that she will be skipping out on that offer. She does not have any intention of leaving Ruber. Besides, she does not have any interest in ruins either, so Noah is far more suited to be on the team than her. The famous adventurer feels a bit down from the rejection and asks Serena why she is so hung up on an E-ranker like Noah. Suddenly, something hits her. Subsequently, the famous adventurer states that she now understands that Serena is lobbying for Noah because he is her boyfriend. So, she gets why she is trying to get him the job. Serena, flustered, tells her that this is not the case. However, she still goes on about how despite being an E-rank, Noah is really good, and she can assure that as an A-ranker herself. Moments later, Serena asks Noah if he has healed up his injuries from the previous missions and if his mana is fully charged again. Noah says that he is pretty much back to 100% now. So, Serena tells him to fight her. They go outside and get ready to fight. Serena made this decision because she knows that this is the fastest way for Noah to prove his strength to everyone. Noah looks a bit hesitant, but he decides to fight her as well. The famous adventurer couldn't help but feel like this was going to be a one-sided massacre. As an A-ranked person was taking on an E-ranked person, the skill gap was simply too much. The other adventurers also make their way out to see who Serena was going to fight. Serena tells Noah that there is no reason for him to hold back, although she does mention that she will go easy on him. Noah also says that he will have to reduce his firepower for it to be suitable to use against a human being. That being said, archaic magic is still very dangerous and might end up causing serious injuries if hit. This is when Serena jumps up to strike Noah with her sword, as she confidently exclaims that Noah won't be able to land a hit on her. Noah puckers up in fear of getting slashed, but Serena just hits him with the flat part of the sword. She then tells him that she is not going to take his life, but the getting hit with the flat side would still hurt a lot. And hurt it did as Noah kinda teared up. Serena tries to follow up on it with another attack, but this time Noah sees it coming and uses his magic to fly up in the air. Serena praises Noah for having incredible reflexes and mentions how she is jealous of him for being able to fly. She tells Noah to bring it on, as Noah says that he will get started as well. Noah starts flaring up as Serena notes that Noah's special attack, the ultimate blazing flames, is a potent attack. If it hits her, she is as good as done. Noah's flames begin to appear, and this alerts Serena. Just when it looked like he was about to attack, Serena moves away. However, she notices that he is not throwing his fire at him. Rather, he was using it to surround himself with it. Serena soon deduces that Noah is using this trick to create a distraction. She panics but calms herself down, as she knows that Noah will use his teleportation. Sure enough, Noah did just that to try and approach Serena from behind her. Serena saw it through and quickly turned back to attack Noah. However, it turns out that Noah had used teleportation again to once again get behind Serena. She admits that Noah got her. He used his teleportation perfectly to put her off her game. Noah states that he was aware of the fact that he can't beat her in a straightforward fight. Serena concedes the bout, calling it her defeat. This brings forth a thunderous applause from everyone watching. The famous adventurer was shocked by the fact that an E-ranker had just defeated an A-ranker. The spectators were all cheering like crazy, as Noah and Serena remember that they had a crowd out there. The famous adventurer then tells Noah that she has never seen such a strong E-ranker before, and apologizes for not recognizing his talents earlier. She subsequently invites him to join her team that will explore the ancient ruins. Noah gives it a thought before taking up the offer. As they prepare to leave, Serena mentions how their partnership is ending so quickly, and Noah felt the same. She adds how their time together might have been short, but it was nothing short of fascinating and that she learned a lot from him. She also says that knowing how good Noah is, there is a big possibility that the next time they meet, Noah will already be an S-ranker or a hero of the kingdom. Noah thinks that is too much. Following this, they all get a bit emotional while parting ways as Noah leaves with the famous adventurer on a trip. Noah and the famous adventurer head out, as the girl finally realizes that she hadn't introduced herself yet. She is Yoon from Rydolph City, an archaeologist and a magic tool engineer. Noah also introduces himself and his companion dragon Fafnir. Yoon is quite fascinated by Fafnir, as small talking dragons are a rarity. They then reach where Yoon has her magic tools for traveling ready. Her tool in question is a glorified motorcycle with a sidecar. She calls it her invention, the Magicycle. They get on the bike and gear up to leave. Noah says that they would reach Rydolph in no time with teleportation, but traveling is one of his hobbies, so he wants to do it this way. They travel together on the bike for days, stopping to eat and camp along the way before eventually reaching their destination. Once they reach the ancient ruins of Rydolph City, Noah is astounded by what was in front of him. Yoon told him that they should waste no time and get to work already. And so, Noah's new archaeological journey with Yoon begins. After looking at the place for a while, Yoon decides to take the lead, as she tells Noah that as his senior, she will be teaching him a few things going forward. As they start walking, Yoon notes that ruins like these usually have their own security traps set up to protect all the treasury that are hidden inside the place. Just as she was talking about this, Yoon mistakenly takes a wrong step and ends up activating one of the traps. This invited an oncoming bunch of arrows coming their way, but Noah manages to see it coming. He uses his archaic magic to create a mana barrier, which manages to stop the arrows. Noah points out to Yoon how that was a trap just like she mentioned. Yoon was a bit embarrassed by the fact that she got caught up in a trap when she is supposed to be the one teaching Noah about these things. So, she lies about it being something she did on purpose to show him. Just as she lies, an evil spirit comes forth, and it activates a bunch of tentacles which attack Yoon. They catch her and put her in a vulnerable state. Before things can get worse though, Noah uses his offensive archaic magic to cut off those tentacles and catches Yoon from falling. Embarrassed, Yoon admits having made mistakes, but she assures Noah that she won't be making any such mistakes going forward, and that everything will be fine. Her solution to not making mistakes being that she just wants to keep riding on Noah's back, making sure she does not make any missteps. Fafnir is a bit saddened by the fact that Yoon just took over his usual resting position. Meanwhile, Noah felt a bit uncomfortable, because it is not exactly easy to walk around carrying a person. Following this, Noah carries her into another room, where Noah feels something different from the first room. Yoon asks him what exactly is ticking Noah off, to which he replies by saying it is nothing, and that he actually does not sense any traps in this room. Instead, what makes Noah curious is the cryptic writing on the wall, which is written in quite a unique scripture. Yoon is also curious about it, and asks Noah if he can use his archaic magic ability to translate this and read it out for them. Noah decides to give it a try. As he manages to do so, he finds out that the message there is not something serious at all. Instead, it turns out to be a father grieving about his daughter already being of age, but not being interested in the art of magic as he had hoped her to be. Yoon is confused by what that message means. Noah says that it seems to be the writing of an ancient person. Noah then continues on to read the next message, which had a date written on it. It was written on a particular time during the year of Rune. It was a sunny day and the weather was quite good, which is why the father thought it was the perfect time to teach his daughter some special magic skills. Yoon is captivated by the year of Rune's part, as she had never heard about the existence of any such calendar before. She mentions how they are currently living in year 779 of the modern era, meaning that this calendar style must have been used before they were keeping track of time. This means that the writing here must be, at the very least, 779 years old. This was quite an impressive discovery. Noah then looked to his side and sees another text written there, this one a bit more serious than the others. It talked about how the person who wrote this was hoping for the good days to continue and for his life to keep passing without a hitch. But it seemed like that was not a possibility after all. So, the person there wanted to defeat the Phantasma Turtle and see it for himself. Noah was curious about what this meant and what exactly was a Phantasma Turtle. However, Yoon was more interested in going ahead and exploring the rest of the ruin, as she wanted to find the supposed treasure hidden there. Noah takes her order and moves forward as requested, but as they make it to the next room, they see that they have reached the end of the road. This was a bummer for all of them, as the tour ended up being for nothing of substance. Even Fafnir was underwhelmed by how short this ruin exploration even was. Yoon finally came down from Noah's back and tells him that there is something he would like to teach him as his senior. She states that a vast majority of the ruin exploration trips end up being in vain. However, they can at least go around and read all the texts that are left in the area, so she tells Noah to do so. They then see that there was a text right in front of them, so she tells Noah to read it. The text was asking for them to hold up a book. Hearing this, Yoon wondered if any book would do the trick, so she brings out her own book and puts it forward. Noah questioned what the book was about, to which Yoon mentions that it is her personal notebook where she notes everything from her research to her usual girly thoughts. However, it seemed like this book wouldn't do the trick, as nothing had happened by now. Noah realizes that he should try and open up the Book of the World. He tries to do so, but he had no real hope, as he had tried to open the book several times after that day, never once succeeding in his attempts though. However, this turned out to be a different situation, and the Book of the World actually ended up showing up in front of him. Noah was glad to see that happening, and decides to get to work with it. He starts reading the book and finds out that the book now has information about the ruin. It has information on the infrastructure of the place, the traps that are included there and how they can be disabled, and most importantly, there is a map of the place. Noah takes a look at the map to see that the place has a secret basement beyond the end that they have currently met. However, there is no way to go there directly, so he uses the archaic magic to change up the setting of the place and makes the wall disappear to create a door in its place. After he uses his magic to do that, a door suddenly appears there out of nowhere. This shocks both Yoon and Fafnir, who can't believe what just happened in front of them. Noah keeps the explanation to himself for now, and they just move on ahead. Once inside, Yoon is mesmerized by the place, as the place is built quite differently from the exterior they have been exploring before. She notes how the walls were created from a peculiar type of metal. This makes her remember how there is a saying that the ancient people once made a civilization that is said to be much more advanced than theirs currently. This really makes her happy, as this is a huge discovery, as she dubs their triumph as the biggest one of the century. As she gladly explores the area, Noah finds something strange that totally leaves him stunned. His reaction makes Yoon and Fafnir wonder what he had discovered, so they go up to him, only to get shocked by what they see themselves. They see a girl in the air, being held by what seems like some sort of magic. Shocked, Yoon questions if this girl is some sort of twisted doll, to which Noah replies by letting her know that it is a human. After all, Noah was able to sense some sort of faint mana from her. This was quite shocking for all of them, but things only get worse when some sort of magic gets activated, turning off the device that was holding the girl up in the air. Suddenly, everything was coming unglued. Sensing big trouble and seeing the girl about to fall down, Noah quickly races over to grab her, saving her from the fall. Worried, Noah asks the girl if she is okay. The girl manages to blurt out something in a foreign language which no one understands. Noah uses his special ability to translate her words, as the girl stated that Noah was using her mother's language, which makes Noah a monster. Angered, the girl suddenly kicks Noah in the face and creates separation. As everyone is left shocked by her actions, the girl prepares herself to launch a vicious attack on Noah. Hearing her speak, Noah understood that this girl was from the same kind as him and others. The girl then started loading up her power, which made Noah's doubts true. Sensing trouble, he orders Fafnir to take care of Yoon, as he prepares to defend himself. The girl readies herself and launches the ultimate Raging Blaze move, signaling that she, like Noah, is a user of archaic magic herself. Noah takes it upon himself to meet fire with fire, as he loads up and launches an ultimate raging blaze himself. However, he was quite shocked by the fact that someone other than him could use this move in the modern day and age. As both of their moves collide, the girl is sent flying back, as Noah regrets using too much power. As time goes on, Noah realizes how the girl was speaking the ancient language, and along with the fact that she is an archaic magic user, it only makes sense for her to be a survivor of the ancient civilization. So, he decides to use his ability to talk with her. Just when he is about to talk to her, though, the girl jumps up and smothers Noah's face with her thighs. The contraction created by that made Noah unable to speak, while the girl got ready to finish him off for good. Before she can deal any damage, though, Fafnir, now fully transformed, saves Noah from the blow. Noah thanks Fafnir for the assist, while Yoon remained shocked seeing this version of Fafnir. Noah wastes no further time and immediately informs the girl that they mean no harm to her using the special translation skill. The girl is shocked to hear someone else talk in Runic language, and along with that, she recalls how Noah had used an incredible ultimate raging blaze attack. This makes her ask Noah if he is also a member of the Ruinian society. Noah tells her that this is not the case with him. The girl is left confused. To explain things to her better, Noah asks for Yoon to give them some private time, which Yoon agrees to. Noah explains the full matter to the girl. She asks Noah if he means that she got frozen in a time-stopping magic barrier, and a lot of time has passed since. Noah tells her that she has gotten it right, and that he can speak her language and use her type of magic because of his translation skill. The girl slowly starts remembering things. She mentions how she is now recalling the events of the Second Demon War, and how her father brought her here. Fafnir confirms this by saying that he had heard about wars between demons and humans. The girl then asks Noah how long has she been stuck in time exactly. Noah says it is an unimaginable amount. It has come to the point that the language she speaks is now considered ancient, and her magic is considered archaic. The girl is stunned to learn this. Following this, the girl asks Noah to take her to the Sky Tower, as Ruinians built that place so that it never gets destroyed. From there, she would be able to get a clear view of the world, and get to know if Noah is saying the truth. Noah asks for Yoon's permission. Yoon says that they actually passed by the Sky Tower on their way here, and she has no problem. Following this, Noah uses teleportations to get everyone teleported to the Sky Tower. The girl is amazed to see that Noah is able to teleport as well. Following this, she gets ready to take a look at the Ruinic kingdom of Kirkshircha. What she sees is a place vastly different from memory. She notes that the place has dilapidated considerably and apologizes to Noah for doubting what he said. Noah asks her just what Kirkshircha was like. She states that it was a place full of people, the country was affluent and everything operated smoothly. Despite this, the people there chose to live a modest life and they were very strong. She shows him the hand of the golem which could be seen from the Sky Tower. She says that the Ruinic kingdom built the golems and they also invented Ruinic magic. However, the Ruinic kingdom and its people were no match for the demons of the underworld, whom they were at war with. She then asks Noah how many people currently inhabit the world they live in. Noah says he cannot exactly state a number, but it would be wise to assume that there are a lot of people. He also adds that the current growth and prosperity of humankind might just be all thanks to the people of the Ruinic kingdom. The girl is proud to know that, but the circumstances can't help but make her cry. Noah understands the immense pain this girl is going through. She is someone who just went to sleep for a while, but now that she is awake, she has lost everything and has gone all alone. Her pain is immeasurable. So Noah tells the girl to not worry. As one of the only people who can understand her language, and someone who can use her magic, he vows to protect her. Yoon also tears up for the poor ancient girl. Noah is shocked that Yoon got to understand what the girl was saying, so Yoon clarified that Fafnir was translating everything to her in real time. Yoon tells the girl to not worry, and that she will do everything that is needed for her. The girl is perplexed, so Noah introduces Yoon to her as an archaeologist, and an overall good person who she can trust. He also introduces himself as Noah, and the dragon as Fafnir. Yoon doubles down and tries to make the girl pronounce her name, which the girl struggles her way through. They subsequently ask the girl for her name, to which the girl informs them that her name is Alexia. They find her name cute, as she goes on to say that she is Alexia, the princess of Kirkshire. Noah double-checks and asks her about the princess part, although Alexia told him there is no need to be formal about it. Yoon asks him what it is about, to which he told her about Alexia's princess status, leaving Yoon gobsmacked. Alexia sighs as she mentions how being a princess has a toll on a person regardless of the era they are in currently. After that, Yoon tells them to first get back to her home, which is in the capital city of Rydolf. However, her bike can only hold 2 people, so she suggests that they just walk back home. Alexia asks Fafnir, whom she calls a lizard, to translate the talk for her. Fafnir does so, and Alexia informs them that she is fine with walking back home. After all, teleportation takes a lot of mana energy. Noah wonders if that is okay, to which Alexia tells him that her legs work fine. Noah says that he is aware of that based on the kick she landed on him. Alexia apologizes for that, as Noah tells her that he was just joking. As they start walking, Alexia recalls the last meeting with her father, where he bid her farewell once and for all. Alexia understands that her father wanted her to live on and continue the legacy of their race and culture. She is also glad that she got to meet Noah and Yoon. After all, if it weren't for them, she would probably be stuck in time for longer. In her mind, Alexia thanks her parents and the people of the Ruinic Kingdom before starting her life anew. Meanwhile, the scene changes to the underworld, where the leader of the dark spirits mentions how Noah ruined its plan. It had captured all those fairies to make a grand return to the human realm, but Noah ruined it. However, that is not an issue, as it won't chill out anymore, and so it gets ready to release the monstrous phantasma turtle onto the human world.